All right. Welcome back. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is how to heal trauma on a spiritual level, part 2. I told you guys this would be a series. I felt like it needed more, it just needed to be dived deeper into, and as many as the different aspects needed to be focused on individually. So yeah, let's get started. This is sort of a 4 questions to ask yourself to accomplish the second level of healing trauma on a spiritual level. And you're gonna use these questions more than once in your life, more than once for even the same situation. You're gonna keep using it. So take notes. Definitely get some pen, some paper out. If you don't have it, take some notes, because this is really valuable stuff. And if you guys have any comments, any tips, any other add-ons to the conversation, get down in the comments. That's all. Let's get into it. Okay. So number 1 is, what does spirit and spirituality mean to you? And I'm gonna give you guys the dictionary definition of spirituality, and then I'm gonna give you my definition of spirituality, like what it means to me. And then I'll go through how to find out what spirituality means to you. Okay, so the basic Google definition of spirituality. Spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or sense of belief that there is something greater than myself, something more to being human than sensory experience, and that the greater whole of which we are part is cosmic or divine in nature. Okay, so basically you have a belief system, whether it includes a religion or not, that things are greater than just you as an individual and just people as individuals. That's the dictionary definition. To me, spirituality means a little bit of that dictionary definition of where there's something grander that is maybe not in control, but overseeing or fabricating the things of life. But it also, to me, has a lot to do with energy and being one with nature and being present with the world and your experience of the world. That's what spirituality means to me. Also a little bit of that that nirvana on earth, that peace within yourself. So yeah, that's what spirituality is to me. I also want to go through a few things, because in this whole list, I'll be saying the words spirit, spirituality, self, energy, and soul. So let me just go over that for a second. I kind of feel like all of these can, in some instances, be interchangeable, but also they mean and describe different things, if that makes sense. And I feel like once we're talking more about it, you'll understand. But in some cases, your self is your energy, and in some cases, your soul is your spirit. But sometimes we're just talking about the soul, or sometimes we're just talking about energy. And yeah, you'll see as we keep talking about it. So how to figure out what spirituality is for you? I'd say the way to figure out what the definition is for you and what it actually, what the purpose of it is, I'd say experience and observation and reflection and analysis and putting it all together to come up with what's personalized for yourself. So the concept I'm talking about, if you're confused right now or you need a bit more, you need it to be described a bit more, go to the Power of Research Part 1 video, and I'm explaining Rapture, which is a little acronym that I had to come up with for the video, and that's the reflection, the analysis, the conclusion, observation, all of those different things. And also, we're going to be bouncing off of stuff that came from Part 1 of How to Heal Trauma on a Spiritual Level. So if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch that. It's also in the cards right now. It'll also be in the description. Both of them will be in the description. So yeah. Back to that. That's how you figure out what spirituality means to you personally. Okay, number 2. You need to know who your spiritual guides are. And whether you're religious or not, you have spiritual guides. If you're religious, your spiritual guide is your God or your gods or whoever is the leader and the voice of basically the code of honor that you're supposed to live under your spirituality or religion. So it can be your God, your ancestors, maybe you have a spirit animal, it could be celestial forces. You need to know, once you figure out who your spiritual guides are, you need to know what your spiritual guides can help you with. Like, what are the things that okay, I usually have trouble with this, so I need to make sure I'm turning to God, or I'm turning to my ancestors, or I'm turning inwards towards myself, because maybe my inner being is who my spiritual guide is. I need to turn to them to figure out what's going on. You need to know how to communicate with them, both hearing and talking to them. So let's say you're Christian, and when you're praying, that's a form of communication with God. That is how you speak to God. So how do you hear God's voice? Do you read the Bible? Do you meditate at night? Is it during the sermons? Like, when do you hear the voice of your spiritual guide? Okay. We're zooming pretty fast through this one, but it really, all of it has to do with like understanding the spiritual side of yourself. And I feel like it's really just mastering certain key things. And this is only from my experience, of course. I know other people have figured things out different ways, but this is just what I'm sharing with you guys that I've learned for myself. Okay. Okay, once you can communicate with your spirit guides, don't ignore them. Don't just be like, oh, one day you think you've grown past a certain amount and you can just go without talking to them. Or if they tell you something and you're just not feeling it at the moment, don't be like, nah, I'm gonna ignore it. Make sure you're listening to their advice and their guidance, because they're just gonna shove it right back in your face. It's just gonna happen anyways. So listen to your spirit guides. Okay. Number 3, what feeds your spirit and fulfills you? So this is something you need to know as a spiritual side of yourself, because when things affect your spirit in a negative way, you need to know how to replenish that good energy and get yourself back to a good head space and a good spiritual space. But it's also just good in general. You need to know what makes you happy, what brings your spirit life, what gives you purpose. So yeah, just finding what truly makes you happy and peaceful. And I'm not talking about a job or a specific like thing that someone else does for you. I'm talking about something that you do for yourself or that just happens in life that makes you content with life. It makes life just lovely. It makes life lovable. A better way to put it, I was thinking about this the other day because I realized I was doing it. But you know when you're eating food and it is just so good and there's no music playing or anything, but you are just dancing. You're dancing to the music or whatever and just eating your food because it is so good. What are the things in life that give you that feeling? Like, that's the things that you need to pay attention to. Yeah, those are the things that feed your spirit and give you nourishment and keep your spirit healthy. It's not just about like healing your spirit after something damaging has happened. It's about making sure your spirit is healthy at a constant. Okay, number 4, and like I said, there's only 5, so we're almost done. Okay, number 4, what drains your spirit? So you do need to know what drains your spirit and what depletes that your energy and your soul. And ways to figure that out, you have to pay attention to life and life's changes, and we're going to talk more about it in number 5, because number 5 is about how you know if something has just affected your spirit in a positive, negative way. But to know what drains your spirit, does it make life feel miserable or not worth living or unbearable to live? Or does it make life feel monotonous even? Just zombie-like, day by day, it just goes by, it's whatever. Do you find yourself like getting more tired and tired, not just like physically, but mentally and emotionally? But mentally and emotionally, do you find yourself becoming more tired and tired as that thing keeps happening? Like, are you becoming fed up with it even? And things that drain your spirit are also things that keep you from flourishing. They keep your spirit from growing and becoming bigger and better and more you. So you have to make sure you're paying attention to those. Okay. Number 5. How do you know if an experience affects your spirit? So with this, it can be in a positive or a negative way, but you sense your mood shifting. You notice your mood has shifted. And this is kind of not in a drastic way, but in a, maybe it builds up over time, or maybe it's kind of periodic and then it becomes constant. Your body language shifts. You may feel mentally or emotionally ill or drained, or even uplifted or perky if it's the positive. Your routine or your daily life is interrupted. It changes. Maybe you had a pretty, like, it was a solid routine. It wasn't back to back. You had things you did at certain times, but now you're all over the place and you can't get organized anymore. Or it's changed and shifted because it wasn't really working efficiently before, but now it's working superb. It's amazing. Life is great with it. Another thing is you're exhibiting new, or you're having returning behaviors and habits and unhealthy coping mechanisms that you may have like started healing in the past, but now it feels like they're kind of coming up a lot more consistently than they were because they were dwindling down. Or you used to have a bad habit you've been trying to get rid of, and now it seems almost effortless to be able to do it. So those are just a bunch of different ways to understand if an experience or something in your life has impacted your spirit or your soul. And if all else fails, ask your spirit guides. Ask for guidance, because you may be the only one living your life, but it helps to see an outside, unbiased perspective, or even an outside biased perspective that knows you maybe a little bit more than you know yourself. Okay. That is all for today. This video was a bit short, but just so you know, this series is not done. We will be coming out with part 3, which will be about how we've talked all this talk, but can we walk the walk? And can we actually put it into motion? Can we make this actually happen? So that's what part 3 will be about. Watch out for that. We also have a series right now that is the power of research. I think that is going to be really helpful for anyone doing anything or interested in anything on my channel. It's about the power of research in all aspects of life, not just like finances or yourself. Like, it's about it encompasses a lot. So watch out for that. It's in the description. And yeah, please comment all the things I said to comment. If you never know what you should comment, check the description box, because it will always have suggestions of things you guys can comment. Like I said, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and when you subscribe, hit the bell notification, and you know when we will upload, which is every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. I know I did. So with all of that said, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And once again, I want to thank you. Thank you. Thanks.